As the crackdown on immigrants continues across the country, Shadow President Elon Musk is now openly calling for more white immigrants. Yeah, because of course, right?
The Republican Party's racist.
Now, this has to do with his native South Africa, where black people remain the overwhelming land-owning minority, despite being the ethnic majority. Now, this led South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to signing a bill into law which would allow the government to take farmland, even in some cases, without compensation. And so be a case-by-case basis, right? Now, that said, there are constitutional protections in South Africa against the expropriation without compensation that are in place. So very likely, if they actually did do this without compensation, there would be legal challenges to it. So there are some protections there. And I happen to disagree with the policy of not compensating landowners after doing what is essentially taking land. Okay. But that said, you got to understand that the reason that they're doing this policy is because that is exactly how these white landowners got control of the majority of the farmland in the first place. They basically stole it from black people and then prevented them from being able to own it. Okay, so there were very racist laws in place. Now, that said, I don't think that the two wrongs are going to make a right here, when it comes to taking it without compensation, right? But, and I'm saying that even in the pursuit of justice, right? And I do think that justice is overdue. I think there is a problem, okay? Poverty and unemployment are huge, problems among the majority, which is, again, black majority, right? There needs to be a fix for that. There does need to be justice, but again, it's a politically charged, very nuanced issue, right? And a lot of it stems from colonialism. There's race relations. There's apartheid, obviously, but there's also the issue of minority and majority rights involved, okay? Now, that said, the ruling ANC party's main goal, according to Reuters, is to try to transfer at least 30% of farmland owned by white farmers back to the black farmers by 2030. And if they can do it in ways which involve, being able to fairly compensate those white landowners for the retransfer of that land, okay, great. And the hope there is that this can right some historical wrongs. Now, that said, you've got Trump basically calling it a human rights violation, which is funny, and threatened to cut funding to the country in response. Now, Ramaphosa, he responded to Trump's threat by saying, hey, look, South Africa is a constitutional democracy that is deeply rooted in the rule of law, justice, and equality. The South African government has not confiscated any land. We look forward to engaging with the Trump administration over our land reform policy and issues of bilateral interest. He also added that while the U.S. was a key strategic political and trade partner, it did not provide any significant funding to South Africa besides a major HIV/AIDS relief program. Now, that said, Donald Trump has already gutted that program. So what real source of funding can be cut off to South Africa at this point? I mean, and that's if they were actually doing the thing that they said that Trump said they were doing, which apparently they have not. So that said, Musk responded to this by saying, specifically Ramaphosa, in his statement saying, why do you have openly racist ownership laws? Well, here's the thing. You realize this came as a reaction to previous racist ownership laws, okay? But it was just in the other direction, where you had, under apartheid, the minority-run government blocking black people, the majority, from owning farms after having forcibly removed them. if you weren't calling out those laws then what business are you to calling out these laws now? Mainly because, and the reason that Musk probably didn't call out any of these laws prior, the ones that barred black people from owning farmland, is because, like a lot of wealthy white South Africans, they benefited from that system, benefited from apartheid. Okay, so now a reply under Musk's Ramaphosa rebuttal then called for, hey, why not encourage white immigration to Europe? Quote, white South Africans are being persecuted for their race in their home country. Now, look, what we're talking about here is, again, white, wealthy landowners in South Africa. Okay. And basically what it is we just want to get some justice here. Okay. To restore what was unfairly stolen from these black farmers. That was their land. Okay. But it doesn't matter to them, right? It doesn't matter. He also says, also white South Africans are one of the few population groups that are fiscally positive when immigrating to Europe. We should allow more immigration of white South Africans, to which Musk had replied, yes, yes. Now, why is it, are they considered to be more fiscally positive? Oh, because they stole the land and the wealth. That's why. And again, this is an upper crust of very wealthy white landowners. Not every white person in South Africa is a wealthy white landowner. Okay, so let's put that out. Putting that out there. Okay, and I'm assuming too that the non-wealthy white South Africans would also be welcomed, or would they not? That is the question, right? That is the question. But again, the South African government is attempting to reverse all of this, right? And now that they're doing that, suddenly people like Elon Musk are pro-immigrant. Well, yeah, we're pro-immigration, but only a certain kind of immigrant, you see. Not the ones that are fleeing political violence in Central America or climate change in the Caribbean. No. Oh, no. It's only for wealthy white South Africans like Elon Musk. Now, look, I would say it'd be different if, hey, wow, there's actually a genocide going on here in South Africa. And yes, we should probably take in refugees. Then I'd be like, yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. But there is no genocide going on in South Africa. No, this is, again, the government, and I hope they don't have to use it, saying, well, we can go in and we can do basically eminent domain and come and take these farms and redistribute them, right? I hope they don't have to. I hope that some of these wealthy white landowners, decide to, you know what? Yeah, we'll take the payout. We've already benefited very, very, very well from what we have in place. And yeah, sure, why not? But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But look, getting back to Musk, right? This is a case of Musk saying, well, these people look just like me, therefore I must protect them. And they want to claim that they're not white supremacists. I mean, every other type of immigrant is, other than what white Europeans, basically, is labeled immediately as, you're dangerous. Oh, you're poisoning the blood of this country. That's something that Trump actually said. But when it comes to wealthy white South Africans, oh man, they're totally fine. We should totally bring them over. I mean, they've got wealth, and they're victims. They're the refugees. We should immediately open our borders for them and their money, but mostly their money. Okay, and of course, for Musk, it's like, oh, we must protect the white culture. Understand that this is the only type of immigration that Trump and Musk are okay with. It's the kind that they want. And it's the kind that they've always been focused on, to bring in more white people and screw everyone else.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.